I noticed it on a Tuesday. That detail matters to me because Tuesdays are boring. Nothing unusual happens on Tuesdays. I wake up, shower, go to work, come home, sleep. If something strange happens on a Tuesday, it doesn't have the excuse of stress or bad timing. I was brushing my teeth, half awake, staring at myself like I've done every morning for years. Everything looked normal. Same bathroom, same harsh overhead light, same mirror I've had since I moved in. The sink reflected fine, the towel rack, the door behind me. My shoulders and chest moved exactly when I did. It was just my face. I leaned closer to spit, and my reflection leaned with me. I straightened up. My reflection did too. Then I smiled. My reflection didn't. Not at first. It took about a second, maybe less. Just long enough for my brain to register that something hadn't followed the rule it was supposed to. Then my reflection smiled back. The same smile, same crooked pull on the left side, same faint crease near my eye. I froze. The smile stayed. I relaxed my face. My reflection kept smiling for a moment longer, then slowly settled back into neutral. I stood there, toothbrush hanging uselessly in my mouth, heart beating harder than it should have over something so small. I told myself it was lighting, or sleep, or one of those moments where your brain lags and projects meaning onto nothing. Mirrors don't glitch, they don't buffer. I rinsed my mouth and left for work. That night, I tried to recreate it. I stood in front of the mirror and made faces like an idiot, frowned, raised my eyebrows, opened my mouth wide. Everything lined up perfectly, until I smiled again. The delay was still there, consistent, almost polite. I stopped smiling. My reflection didn't stop right away. It held the expression like it was deciding whether it wanted to keep it. Then it let go. I touched my face. My reflection's hand came up at the same time, but the smile came back, just for a second, without me doing anything. I stepped back. The reflection stepped back too, but its eyes stayed fixed on mine, even as my head turned slightly to the side. That was the moment the bathroom stopped feeling like part of my apartment. I checked the mirror with my phone's flashlight. Clean. No warping, no cracks, no old film peeling at the edges. I checked myself in other mirrors. Bedroom mirror, fine. Hallway mirror, fine. Dark reflection in the microwave door, perfect. Only the bathroom mirror lacked. Only my face. I started avoiding it, brushing my teeth while looking down, shaving by feel, showering with my eyes on the tile. That worked until last night. I forgot. I caught my reflection by accident while washing my hands. I wasn't smiling. My reflection was. Wide. Too wide. It faded a second later, like it remembered it was supposed to be me. Something tapped gently from the inside of the glass. Not a knock. More like someone testing whether the surface was thin enough to push through. And just before I turned away, my reflection blinked, out of sync, and mouthed something I didn't say. Don't rush. because it's still learning the timing, and it's getting better every night. I stopped using the bathroom mirror after that. Not dramatically, not all at once. I just adjusted, turned slightly away when I washed my hands, kept my eyes low when I brushed my teeth, used my phone camera if I needed to check something on my face. That worked until it didn't. Because even when I wasn't looking directly at it, I could feel it. That sounds stupid, but it's the only way to describe it. The same way you can feel when someone's watching you from behind without hearing a sound. A pressure, a focus, like attention has weight. The mirror was paying attention. The delay started getting shorter. At first, it was about a second, then maybe half, small enough that I could pretend it wasn't changing if I didn't think too hard about it. I started testing it in controlled ways. I'd raise my eyebrows and count silently. 1, 2. The reflection followed almost immediately. I frowned. Instant. I smiled. It still lagged, just barely, but enough. That became the tell. The smile was always last, like it wanted to hold on to it. One night, I stood sideways to the mirror and watched out of the corner of my eye. My face stayed neutral, calm, bored. The reflection smiled anyway. I didn't. It held the expression for a full 2 seconds before slowly matching me again. That was when I realized it wasn't lagging anymore. It was choosing. I covered the mirror with a towel before bed, pinned it in place with tape. I slept badly, waking up convinced I could hear fabric shifting in the bathroom. In the morning, the towel was damp. Not soaked, not dripping, just warm and slightly wet like it had been breathed on. I peeled it back just enough to check. The mirror was fogged, not evenly, not like steam from a shower, just around where my face would be. I didn't touch it. I backed away and went to work without looking again. That day, every reflective surface felt wrong. Windows, car mirrors, dark phone screens. I kept expecting my face to lag there too, but it didn't. Only the bathroom mirror wanted me. That night, I made a mistake. I talked to it. I don't know why. Exhaustion maybe. Or the part of my brain that still believed this could be explained if I just engaged with it the right way. I stood in front of the mirror and kept my face blank. "You're not me," I said quietly. The reflection stayed neutral. Then it smiled. Instantly. "No," it mouthed back. The sound didn't come from my mouth. It came from the mirror itself, a soft vibration through the glass, like speech remembered rather than spoken. "You just don't hold still long enough." My reflection raised its hand. I didn't. Its fingers pressed flat on the inside of the glass. The mirror bowed slightly, just enough to prove it wasn't as solid as it should have been. I stepped back. The reflection didn't. It leaned closer, face almost touching the surface, smile stretching wider than my muscles could manage. Timing is hard, but I'm almost there. That night, I dreamed I was standing in front of the mirror, smiling. I woke up with my cheeks aching, like I'd been holding the expression for a very long time. I woke up before my alarm. My face hurt. Not sharp pain, not soreness, just a dull ache along my cheeks and jaw, like I'd been clenching or holding tension all night. I lay there for a few minutes, staring at the ceiling, trying to convince myself it was nothing. Stress does that. Bad sleep does that. I didn't smile. I was careful about that. I went straight to the kitchen and poured coffee without looking at any reflective surfaces. I kept my eyes on the counter, the wall, anywhere that wasn't glass. When I passed the bathroom, I didn't even slow down. That was when I heard it, a soft sound, wet, like skin pulling away from glass. I stopped. The bathroom light was off. The door was open just enough that I could see the edge of the mirror. I told myself I wouldn't look. I looked anyway. My reflection was already smiling. Wide, fixed, expectant. I stood completely still. I didn't change my expression. I didn't move my mouth. I barely breathed. After a moment, my reflection's smile faltered, just slightly. Then it adjusted, smoothed itself, refined the shape, like it was correcting a mistake. I felt pressure behind my eyes, a strange lightness in my head, like the moment right before you faint. The reflection blinked, in sync this time. "That's better," it said. This time, the sound came from both places, my mouth and the mirror speaking together, layered just slightly out of phase. I stepped back, heart pounding, and my reflection stepped forward. The glass rippled, not shattered, not cracked, softened. My reflection's hand pressed through first, the surface stretching around its fingers like thick water. When it pulled back, the glass snapped smooth again. No mark, no damage. "Stop," I said. My reflection nodded. Immediately. "Okay," it replied. Then it smiled again. I backed out of the bathroom and shut the door, hands shaking as I flipped the light off from the hallway. I didn't go back in. I grabbed my keys, my jacket, and left the apartment without looking back. I didn't come home that night. I slept on a friend's couch. I told them I wasn't feeling well. That part was true. I barely slept, waking every hour convinced I could feel my face tightening into a smile on its own. When I finally returned the next evening, the apartment felt normal. Too normal. The bathroom door was open. The light was on. The mirror looked fine. I stood there for a long time watching myself breathe, watching my face move exactly when it should. No delay, no extra expression, no lag. I almost laughed. That was when my reflection blinked. I didn't. It smiled. I didn't. And this time, it didn't fade. It held the expression comfortably, naturally, like it belonged there now. I don't use mirrors anymore. Not because they scare me, because they're patient. And every night when I'm half asleep, I can feel my face relaxing into something that isn't quite mine. Learning the timing, letting it catch up.